Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of the making process of my contest tank this year, a river somewhere. So today we're going to flood the tank, plant the tank, go through the cycle, and then all the way to the final photo taking session. Let's get started. So the ending of the part 1, we stopped at the hardscape. So today we're going to start from flooding the tank. I always love this process, because this is the first time that we are going to see the hardscape, the whole scape in the water. And usually it looks a little bit different because with the water, you get to see the reflection, first of all. And then with the water also, you can get a better sense of the space and the dimension around the hardscape. The feeling is quite different with and without water. So this process usually make me quite excited. And don't be fooled by the clear water. You should see later what is the color the water will turn. Yeah, so after flooding the tank, do some cleaning, starting the filter, and then the cycling will start. To be honest, I liked this tank before it's planted. It have a bit more biotop feeling. You see the color changes from clear to almost like brownish color. On the 5th day, I think it is the worst. And then you get all this slimy stuff. I mean, this is quite common when you use wood. No matter it is wild collected or the driftwood, quite often you get this kind of very slimy stuff. It will go away after some weeks, but I can't stand all this slimy stuff. So whenever I do water change, I will try to siphon them out, and they will come back. For the first 1 or 2 weeks, or they will always come back, no matter how much you siphon. Even the sands, you can see the sands is also having all this slimy stuff. After 8 days, the water is clearing up. 10 days is getting better. Yeah, this is almost normal now. This is the original plant list. The first plant is the Potamogeton gai. This is my favorite plant. And this plant, I transferred them from my first tank, which is the River Nowhere. After I demolished that tank, I transferred the gai to my paludarium, and then I harvest them back from the paludarium to my contest tank. And because this plant is really a very fast growing plant, I do not need to plant really a lot. I only need a few stems actually, and within weeks they will be filling up the tank. And this plant, they don't mind the hard water. This is one thing that I'm very grateful. No matter how hard or how high is the KH, this plant just don't care. They just grow. So one of the reasons I love this plant so much. And in the middle of the planting, my algae crew arrived. So I ordered them, and during the planting day they arrived. I have 100 Malayan shrimp, 20 Yamato, some Otos, Molly. This is for the surface film. They are very good cleaning up the surface film, and some SAE. Yeah, so these are basically my algae crew. Almost quite standard. Every tank I have almost the same amount of this algae crew. Now I'm doing the acclimatize process, just to get them used to my tank water parameter. So I'll put them in a container and then slowly add in the aquarium water into this container a few times. Usually the whole process will take, 20-30 minutes. I pour some of the aquarium water into the container, and after like 5 minutes I took out some of the water from the container and then add in some more aquarium water, and repeat this process for 2-3 times until the water in the container is close to the water in my tank, and that is a time where we can put in the algae crew into the tank. And I do it for all the fish, not only for the algae crew but also for my showfish, basically all kind of fish. Okay, so this is roughly after about 30 minutes releasing them into the tank. Usually I don't get any casualty. If I do the proper acclimatization, usually I don't get any problem introducing fish to the tank. And this is also a very fun process. I also love seeing when we first releasing all kind of fauna to the tank. This is a very fun process. I really enjoy it very much. Okay, let's continue planting. This is, I think, hair grass, TC, the in vitro hair grass. I usually don't use a lot of tissue culture plants because I think they are a little bit unpredictable. My favorite plant is usually the traditional potted plant. I think it is more easy to predict. They don't give me so much problem. But for hair grass is probably one of the plant that I always use tissue culture because I think, I don't know, it doesn't give me a lot of problem. And now I go to my farm at the backyard to collect some hydrococtile verticillata. Yeah, so they are just growing a lot in my backyard. Yeah, and this is a beautiful plant. They are not fussy. They are not very fast growing, but they are very nice. Yeah, and I think it is also giving quite nice underwater feeling. This plant. They are not fussy at all and very easy to control and to care for them. This is, I think, my third time or fourth time using this plant in my tank. So cryptocorin, Venti brown. This plant in the final photo, basically we can't see them. I want to show them, but somehow the place where I planted them in the final photo, they are being blocked by all the other plants. So unfortunately, we can't see this cryptocorin in my final photo. I usually trim all their roots. And this is another plant, the myrophyllum, that we can't see in the final photo, but this is I know I can't see this plant in the final photo because this plant is mainly used to as a nutrient sucker, just to quickly fill up the tank to absorb all the excessive nutrients. So it is one of the best plant, in my opinion, to be used as the nutrient sucker because they grow very fast. And then we have this mini Java fern. This is one of the main plant because I use a lot. Initially I bought about 20 pots. I think this batch that I'm doing now is 20 pots, and after that I think I bought another 20 or 30 pots. So there are a lot of them in my tank, basically on the wood. And I like to tie them on a small piece of rock. So it makes the planting process very simple. So after you tie them on the rock, you just have to place them on your tank. You don't have to do anything. They will not float. They will, very easy to handle if you tie them in a small rock beforehand. And they are not fussy at all, fern. This is how I place them in the tank. Very, very simple. The more difficult process is to tie them on the rock, but the so-called planting process is very, very simple. You just place them wherever you want in the tank. And the good thing is that you can move them afterwards if you think that the position is not nice, and you can shift them to anywhere you like. And take note that this leaf is emerged leaf now, so this leaf will get Usually after a few weeks, I will have to trim this leaf. After the submerged leaf is growing, I have to trim those immersed one. So this is microfilm. You see, I planted them at the back of the aquarium. So these are basically, I know I can't see them, but this is just to fill up the space. I have quite a big space at the back, and I like to always fill up my tank. Even though I know in the final photo they are not visible, I will still fill up all my tanks, all the area, because I don't want any empty area. This is the Wendy Brown. And if you see this white stand on top, this is the stand that is giving me problem. Yeah, this is a stand that is giving me a lot of problem, causing the hard water issue. So I basically planted the cryptocorin at left and right side of my tank. But in the once the tank progresses, all the other plants are covering the cryptocorin. I like the colors because I want the tank to have a bit of the brownish color to match with the guy and also to match with the fish. I want a bit of color, so I thought Wendy Brown is a good choice, but I can't see them in the final photo. And this is HC Cuba. This is one of my favorite plant. I like to mix them with mini hairgrass. To me, this two combination is perfect for foreground. And if you see here, the foreground stand that I use now is also the stand that is giving me problem. But afterwards, after I discovered the stand has problem, I basically changed all this foreground stand to a more common stand. This is very, very white stand. Just simply mix the HC with hairgrass. And after they grow, they will form a very natural foreground. This is Achicularis. I also planted them at the back. In the final photo, you can see a little bit, not very visible, but you can see a little bit. It is actually behind the guy in the final photo. My initial plan is not to block this side, to leave a gap so we can see through. But if you watch my video, at the end I decided to cover them up. This is Monte Carlo. This is also an important plant. I put them basically on top of the main wood. What I did is I also tied them either on small rocks or small pieces of stainless steel mesh. But I have to tell you, this batch of Monte Carlo, after a few weeks, they are all gone because of the water problem. This batch of Monte Carlo, they are all gone after a few weeks. I replanted them 1 or 2 times after this. So this batch are all gone because of the hard water problem. Monte Carlo is the one that is suffering quite a lot. I am tying them on the rocks or some wire mesh. So the planting process will be very simple. Just put them into the tank. So this is after planting. Yeah, after planting. And I always like to check my concept after planting. Take a photo and then just to see what else I want to add or what kind of new plant is needed, and I have to imagine after the plant is growing how the tank will look like. So this is a very important process for me. So this is 2 weeks, 1 month. Actually, I'm having plant growing problem from the water, but because I'm doing 50% water change, maybe you don't see that much. And this is, I want to demonstrate, sometimes you have to do some minor changes. For example, in this case, I saw a spot that is not covered by moss. So I have to do something to fill up the spots. And my paludarium is a nice plant farm for me. Just now you saw that I harvest the guy from the paludarium. Now I'm harvesting the moss, and I just take a piece of rock and just, do the usual stuff for the moss. and I'm doing this very often. So it is never about only planting. Planting is just the beginning, the initial thing that we have to do. I think the real work starts after the planting. There are a lot of adjustment, a lot of tuning. Planting is basically just put in the plant. So I don't usually care so much about planting, but the final execution, the tuning, is the one that we have to really pay a lot of attention. Yeah, so this is the after 2 months. And now introducing the fish. And this fish is the same fish. I use the same melon bulb in the first tank, a river nowhere. And after I demolished the tank, I transferred the melon bulb to my paludarium. And now I'm making a trap to catch the melon bulb from my paludarium back to my contest tank. So this is a very simple trap, because there is no way, without a trap, there's no way you can catch those fish inside this paludarium. They are really, really fast and no way, trust me. So I have to use some trap. And I did twice, I think, because they don't go in at one go, so I have to do 2 times to catch them. I bought 35 of them, and I think there are still about 5 left in the paludarium, so there are about 30 in my contest tank. I can't catch them all, so I think 30 is enough. Unfortunately, during the final photo of the river somewhere, I think the melon bulb is only like about 20 that is visible in the final photo. Another 10, I don't know where are they. But I think they are okay. I think the amount of fish in the final photo is acceptable. I think 20 fish is quite okay. So this is the first batch. Actually, as I say, I catch them 2 times. So this is the first batch. So this is 3 months. I think almost there. And I always like to check my photo and to see what else I need to do some modification. So the final photo shooting, I shot 4 times. Honestly, I can't remember this is which time that I shot. I think this is the last time. I have a helper here. And this video is not the first time, because I can recognize them from the small woods on the top, because in the final photo I don't have this wood. So this is the first time, the first shot from the first shot, or second, maybe the second shot or third shot, I can't remember, but not the final shot, definitely not the final shot. Yeah, I love this view. This is when I sit on my sofa and then I can. So this is the final photo. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.